Hey everyone, how's it going? Matt here, and today we're going to be talking about Lucifer. No, not the actual Lucifer, the Fox TV show Lucifer. And we're going to be asking the question, is it good? Is it worth watching? Well, it's in its second season, and I've watched the entire first season and the first couple of episodes of the new season. And I can tell you right up front that this is not a good show. The concept for it is completely ludicrous. It's basically the devil gets tired of working in hell and he decides to go to Los Angeles on Earth and basically quits his job and becomes a nightclub owner. And in his spare time, he teams up with a LAPD homicide detective and solves murders. Yeah. The devil teams up with the police to solve murders. It sounds like an SNL sketch almost. But the thing is that even though this show is not good, because it's kind of like a ridiculous take on a standard police procedural show, even though it's not good, it's immensely enjoyable, and I love watching it. I don't know why. Well, I do know why, and I'm going to be, kind of talking about the reasons why I like watching it. But objectively, from a storytelling perspective and stuff like that, it's not a good show. It's the crimes aren't very original. It's very standard boilerplate, wacky partner with a straight-laced cop. It's basically Castle, but with a supernatural element to it. So if you liked Castle, you'd probably like this show. And if you don't like police procedurals, you probably won't like this show. But the thing about it is that there's something about this show which is a guilty pleasure. I don't know what better way to explain it. You have the character of Lucifer, who's played, let me get his name right, by actor Tom Ellis. And this guy is so charismatic. He chews up the scenery whenever he's on screen, and he's so much fun to watch. And I think the thing that makes this show work is him. Like, if anyone else was in this role, the show wouldn't work at all. But he is phenomenal. He just plays the character with such mischievous glee. He's a ladies' man. He's a Lothario. He's the type of guy who likes to basically partake in every single vice known to man. And one of the funniest things about the show is that he makes no bones about who he is. It's not like one of those things where, the demon or the angel is trying to protect his identity. It's a very Tony Stark thing where he'll meet someone, he's like, "Hi, I'm the devil." And they're like, "Oh, haha." He's like, "No, really, I'm Lucifer. I'm the actual devil." And nobody believes him, but he'll just go around and he'll flaunt it. He'll flaunt the fact that he's a devil. And everyone kind of just brushes him off as being crazy or what have you. And the supernatural aspect of this show is actually the most enjoyable part of it. The whole thing, you have angels, you have demons, you have Lucifer, you have God, you have Lucifer's mom, who's God's wife, something like that. And they're not used to the human world. They actually, they're kind of jealous of humans and the affinity that God has for them. And when they come to Earth, they don't quite understand the customs and the cultures and stuff like that. So it's almost like a fish out of water story, seeing them kind of interact with people and, the fact that they're not from Earth and they're not used to this type of thing makes for some very interesting exchanges. So, for instance, Lucifer is paired up with a police detective who was a former teen actress or something like that, and she's very kind of the straight man. She's straight-laced, down to earth, by the book, and she kind of teaches Lucifer about how normal people operate, and Lucifer's always questioning it. It's like, why would you do something like that? That's stupid. And she's like, that's just how people are. And so you kind of see this character journey of Lucifer learning what it means to be human, the devil himself learning about humanity and the best types of things that humanity has to offer, and why God might favor humans over angels and things along those lines. But you also have some very interesting stuff where Lucifer is dealing with daddy issues, obviously, and parental issues, family issues. Like there's a character in the show who's his brother, who's an actual angel from heaven. So there's that kind of dichotomy there where they're kind of at odds because he's from heaven and Lucifer's from hell, but they don't really hate each other. They're kind of on the same side. And you also have his kind of demon sidekick, who's this attractive woman who kind of works by his side. And you also have a therapist character, which Lucifer starts going to see. And it's very interesting because this therapist starts putting the devil through therapy, and Lucifer actually starts working through some of his issues and figures stuff out. It's kind of Soprano-ish in that way, where you have like this bad guy who goes to a therapist and starts discovering why he's bad and, what's driving him. And the cool thing about the character of Lucifer is that he feels like he's a good guy who's just misunderstood. Like he was unfairly cast out and he's just got really bad PR, and he's just kind of like this laid back guy who just wants to have fun and doesn't care about, actually doing the stuff the devil is supposed to be doing. He just kind of wants to enjoy his life and partake in all the pleasures that the world has to offer. And it's this idea here of the character of Lucifer which carries this show. The first season had kind of this overarching story arc about this character who came back from hell, who made a deal with Lucifer's brother to kill Lucifer and get him back to doing his job in hell. And it was kind of interesting because Lucifer discovers that the police detective that he's paired with, there's something more to her than meets the eye. And whenever he's around her, he becomes mortal or vulnerable, because like angels can't be killed by earthly means. Like if someone shoots him with a gun, he's usually fine. But for some reason, when he's with this detective, he becomes vulnerable, and he can be killed, and he can be shot, and he can be hurt. And this confuses him, and he's like, why is this happening to me? And it's kind of this interesting mystery surrounding this detective and who she is. And Lucifer also has a lot of great scenes with her daughter, where the daughter's kind of this rambunctious little girl, and Lucifer kind of, encourages her baser instincts and drives her mom crazy because of it. So this brings us back to the question, is Lucifer a good show? And I think I answered that question earlier when I said no, it's not, but it is an enjoyable show. I'm a firm believer that shows can be bad, but also fun to watch. And I call these guilty pleasures. There are a lot of shows out there that fall into this category. And I really honestly think that Lucifer, like, I hope it gets, a couple more seasons, because I think that they're doing some interesting stuff. And it seems like this season they're focusing a little bit more on the supernatural aspect, which is really the interesting part of this show, and it's what carries it. So if you're looking for something kind of fun and dumb to watch, along the lines of Castle, where you could just kind of jump into any episode and like enjoy the banter between the people and the characters and stuff like that, Lucifer is that type of show. If you don't have time to watch some stuff, and like you have to be very selective about what it is you watch or record on your DVR, Lucifer is not the show for you, because it is dumb. Like, let's make no bones about this. It's stupid. It's a dumb show. But like I said before, Tom Ellis, God, this guy just carries this thing on his back. If he wasn't on this show, it wouldn't work at all. This guy is immensely talented. He's very funny. He's very charming, and I would love to see him in more stuff. I know he had like a short-lived USA show where he played this doctor, this concierge doctor, and I watched that for a bit, and I didn't think it was very good. It didn't last more than a couple episodes, but he was good on it. So, it just comes down to, I guess, the right role for the right actor, and Tom Ellis is killing it in this role. So if you like police procedurals and you like kind of like supernatural stuff, this is also based on a comic book Well, sort of. It's Neil Gaiman's take on the devil from his Sandman series on the the Vertigo DC label. So if you're a comic book fan, you might want to check this out. Even though the premise is ridiculous, it's a fun show. So if you've seen it, let me know what you think. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this, where you think it's going. This season, his mom is back. We're not quite sure if she's a good guy or a bad guy yet. But Tricia Helfer from Battlestar Galactica, she's playing his mom. And there's already been some really great exchanges between the two. So I'm looking forward to seeing where this season goes. It's one of my guilty pleasures that I like to watch. So anyway, if you are into this type of thing, definitely check it out. If not, you're not missing it. You could probably wait for it to come on Netflix and watch it when you're homesick or something like that. But yeah, it's not a good show, but it is fun. All right, guys, this is Matt, and I will catch you in the next video.